Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ireland Esports Collegiate Winter Series. I am Kurt, and joined once again by Schmergen and smiling over there.
Hello, we're back again for the last week now of the group stage of the Winter Series. And we've got two juggernauts from Group D here. Both going 6-0, these teams, UCD and TCD. Now, I think TCD we did see earlier on in the broadcast in the
Yes,
earlier
I believe
weeks,
we
but we
have.
have not seen UCD at all, and they have gone on a tear in the shadows, Kurt.
Yeah, both of these teams have just been absolutely monstrous so far, and just both of them are shoo-ins to get through in their group. We established this. There's no contest really. It's just which one of them is going to get the top spot. Which one's going to go first seed? Which one's going to go second seed? And also, just wanted to see a banger of a game. You know, the rest of the
I have
teams are
no
kind of
doubt it will be really. But
no, definitely.
with this being the last week of groups, so some of them are already decided. Some of them have a lot of competition still. We were looking at it. So,
Yeah.
with
We'll
no
get this.
surprise, last week we saw the TUD boyfriends take down TUS Dragons. Those are the top two in Group C now, and they should be guaranteed a spot into playoffs as well. So that's to start. And on the other sides of it, on the other side, TUD Aurora, the other TUD representative, has their spot guaranteed in playoffs as well. We saw them at week 1 when they were up against the DCU Giants, who have also guaranteed their spot. I think it depends
I think
on how UU perform in their game this week. I think
yeah, it's a little bit more up in the air. But then Group A,
the Group A is
looking
the
at that,
real tiebreaker.
we have we have a lot of teams that are in a good position who either have 4 or 3 wins, and it's really a domino effect of the UCC MTU game that then will set
Hmm.
forward from there.
Yeah.
So
So some
takes
teams guaranteed, some teams are still fighting for their absolute lives in here. So this is a very, very important week. And it all leads up into playoffs. And now if you're interested in keeping up with the playoffs, you can watch the finals live. The tickets have been announced. You can go see it on the 7th and the 8th of December up in Dogpatch Labs. The tickets are on sale on ironcollegiate.com, I believe it was.
yes, sir.
And Valorant is going to be on the 8th at noon. So you can see us, you can see all the people that are playing up in Dogfight. It's going to be a great old time. It's
Yeah,
going to be the third one for me.
we've been there a few times.
Yeah, I've been there a good few times. It's a great time up there. Highly recommend.
Yeah, it's definitely a really fun time to just meet a lot of good people and Schmergen.
Mm-hmm.
Really got a
And
dig in
Schmerk,
there.
wait.
And yeah, he didn't even notice. But yeah, no, just a huge opportunity. It'll be great to see everyone there. Always great to see everyone there. So good opportunity. Get your tickets now. And we're only a few weeks out. Feel like it's a long time coming, but we're getting there. Next week will be playoffs, and then soon we'll be setting off to those finals. But as
Yeah.
well as that, we
As
got
well as
we got
that,
another little bit. We
some
got
of
we
the
got a podcast.
we do have our podcast as well. But on the note of the LAN as well, the other people that come out as well are some of our sponsors as well. Reraw usually have a spot set up for little games that they do to hand out some of their product. It's quite fun. KOKA Noodle show up in spades as well. They
Schmergen's
give out
favorite, as
some.
we learn every week.
Yeah. And a lot of the PCs as well are provided by GG Machines. So everybody comes out in spades for the LAN.
Yeah, yeah, no, just lovely to see all our sponsors and just bring it all kind of into person because moving it from online into that LAN event is so much fun. But before, and I think we should be getting into soon at the very least, maybe a little bit of a veto. But before then, we have the Alumni Guild podcast. So a few past people who've come through the Ireland system, grassroots, everything like that. We had Mitchman on there last time, and it's just a brand new episode. So on Spotify or wherever you listen to your, Apple Music. I don't know where people listen to podcasts. I always forget where they're on. Wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to 30 minutes of them just talking about, where they've been, what they've done. where they've come from in terms of esports, and just a fun old time to kind of see Irish people, the Irish scene, and how it's grown, and the people that have come out of it.
Yeah, I had a decent listen to it actually before we came on. It's pretty good because like you talk about going from grassroots all the way up to the big leagues, right? To the point that like you're moving out of your country, and it all
Exactly.
starts from like pseudo watch partying, just picking up any tournament that you can get for like €2 a map that he was saying. Right, so it's inspirational, really. I mean, as an Irish caster, there's no way you're not going to be inspired by hearing a story about Mitch Mann. So do give it a listen.
Exactly. And just always good to bring each other up. I think that's what we're here at ICS. You want some good times. You want to represent the Irish and get us going here. But back over to the game. TCD, UCD. What are we expecting here? Before we get into it, what do you think? Who do you think is going to take it? We got two absolute heavy hitters. Before we even get into analysis,
it's a very, very tough one.
It is a very close one.
I mean, you have on the side of UCD here, you have CMD on the team. Now, CMD has been a prominent Irish player for the last good few years in collegiate and outside of it as well. And they also have Kiri, who was on the team. We saw them last season. They were quite potent. I believe they're on the Rays usually, and they've been pretty good at it. And they have a lot of supporters as well. I saw whenever they were on the broadcast. And same goal. I mean, there's a lot of people on here. Elizabeth did really well last season. Hefty had a decent run. Jack did. I mean, all just people that like these are people I'm looking at and I'm thinking, damn, they're pretty relevant in the Irish scene and they do quite well. So it's tough competition. But on the other side, you're looking at a team that we did see before. Seb, quite good. Still able to perform without the duo that they had from last season. But now we have to find out which maps they're going to be performing on.
Yeah, we've already gotten a couple of bands and some sunsets and Pearl out of here. I'm interested. Obviously we see some new maps. The two that have come in last week of Pearl and Split. So obviously I might be able to see a Split, but we have to wait and see what exactly is going to be brought out over here.
Split is back. Split is still in.
It's so back.
It is back. I'm wondering what are you going to ban here? Abyss has started to come out a bit more. We saw it last week.
We did, and it was an interesting map to kind of see played out because, as we said, it's much less solved than any other map. So we'll be waiting to see exactly it's going to come through.
Split's out, of course, as soon as I was saying.
No all excitement's gone, but we do have, I'm excited. We got a good assortment of maps here. I think Haven, Bind, Ascent, Abyss, all of them can definitely bring out something. Just waiting to see what TCD will get us going with right now. But be excited. The last week, I'm wondering if they're going to go, a little bit more fun, but it is still quite a fight, given that they're both wanting that top seed spot because it is so tumultuous. It is such a heavy round to kind of run with. And even then, if they both win a map, it's going to be up to a tiebreaker to see who can take it as well. So a lot to play for, and a lot could be lost or gained based on how exactly this week goes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the groups for like trying to get top seed is that for most of them, with the exception of Group A, the top team is like very obviously the top team, right? Like TUD Aurora 5-0-1 didn't lose a single series 2-0. Not a single one lost in that fashion. And on the other side, you have the TUD boyfriends 6-0 on the longest win streak maybe I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So it's do you really want to go up against the top, or do you want to go against, okay, we should have a good chance against this team and have a good chance to make it to the semis?
Exactly. And we are going to get our 2 maps picked out here. We are going to start with Haven from UCD. So that's exciting to see. And then Bind over towards TCD. So some pretty, maps we've seen a lot. We know a lot. Everyone has gotten a taste for them and knows what they're kind of running with over here. So will be a little bit interesting to see what they're going to bring out. And kind of if we're going to see a bit more like confidence picks, like kind of CMD is a confidence player through and through, as what I'll always know. So seeing exactly what they run is always an important one.
I mean, they're playing with Theory here, and I said I'm pretty sure Theory played Raze before.
Raze.
I don't know if they're going to go much more duelist outside of it. And on a map like Haven, you wouldn't really want to be running the Raze. So I'm wondering if they'll go on the Neon or the Jet. But I think if I'm thinking Neon, I'm definitely thinking CMD is a bit more suited, right?
Yeah, seeing CMD on that Neon, I think they're always someone that could be reliable on them. But interesting to see if it will be that case, if they're going to opt to switching up the roles or anything like that. And exactly what they are going to run here.
Alright, Haven. I mean, what comp are you kind of expecting? What comp are you kind of expecting here? So I'd say Neon, sure, absolutely. Sova
Neon,
probably. Kino say is probably going to be on the Sova. I would say Breach, probably Breach. Said has been pretty comfortable on the Breach role. Is it all just going to be double initiatives? Is what I'm really thinking. Because I'd say it would be.
Thinking about it, I would honestly expect that completely. I don't see. I'd be interested to see what they do run if they do not go for that double initiator kind of playoff, running it through. Or
I mean, the trend so far has been a lot of teams like the double duelists, but I think that's when they're trying to flex. That they're just kind of like better. But I don't think you can do that when you're going up against a team that has the same record as you.
No, it's definitely like it's a confidence play nonetheless, but the confidence to do that without having or without like any kind of buffer or without anything like that would be a strong one to go for.
I think
having a quick restart.
Yeah, quick restart. Ye old technical.
Turn it off and on again. Greatest of ideas.
That's what they always tell me to do with the electronics or when I take back something.
I mean, it works. It
does work.
It doesn't make me play better. If you restart the game, it does not help your aim. I've tried that. It doesn't work. But we are getting everything going here.
Yeah, of course, there's been a lot of Valorant happening over the last couple weeks. I know Game Changers finished.
Keeping up with everything.
That was pretty fun. Not too surprised seeing Shopify on top again. I mean, no. They're just kind of too good.
Sometimes it's just that kind of case.
It's
one team too good. I mean, we do have the boyfriends here running.
Same energy.
Yeah, so it parallels. Some may say.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Shopify have gone on like 870 something days though.
Are you saying the boyfriends are better?
Maybe. I'm just saying. I've never seen them in the same room. I have not seen them go head to head. So
the true challenge.
Yeah, that's Thug Finals. That's Thug Finals. And I think they might be in now,
I think
after the old restart.
The strategy works.
Mm-hmm. Now, there hasn't been too many big changes. A lot of the like hints going around for what changes are going to be happening next year. That's all going to be next year. So we're seeing like the finalization, the culmination of Valorant in 2024 of the last couple off-season events.
As everything kind of sets in, as we see exactly kind of who's popping us off.
I heckin' love Neon 2024. The year of the slider.
The year of the slider is one way to put it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we said in getting in towards Haven, I would be unsurprised to see some neons coming in here. But it's all about these picks. But maybe not. Maybe not. We're gonna see some old faithful kind of coming on through for a lot of these characters, you know.
We're going Jet. I'm kind of surprised.
It's looking fairly mirror, except for our good old Sentinels over here. It's just unless some changes come on in, but for now, it's not looking like that. Yeah, we're seeing CMD over on that Jet. At the very least, as we see the rest of them kind of lock in.
Yeah, both of them just running Sova, Breach. Not too surprising. Pretty meta for Haven. So good at taking A control. So good at retaking C. I mean, it's just made for us, right? It's pseudo-solved, I'd say. Not fully solved. There's definitely some whack comps that you can still see on this map. But this is as standard as it gets.
But we're not going to be pulling out any of those here. We're going to be keeping it simple, keeping it straightforward, and you know, there's a reason both these teams want to push forward, and they're not going to try to break the mold that has kind of shaped them right now. You know, keep it simple. You don't need to throw in these wacky picks, especially if you do want the top seed, as we were saying. You do not want to have to face off against some of these unkillable teams over in Group C and B and everything.
Yeah, exactly. There's a significant chance if you get second seed here, it's like, yay, we made playoffs. We're against TUD boyfriends. It's like GG, you know.
And you know, if you get to the finals or the semifinals, you might be facing them anyways. You know, they'll probably be up there, but you want to get a bit further before you get against them. So we push on forward. We see exactly what's going to go through as the setups do just that, and it's looking like we're going to be taking at least some mid control as UCD set themselves up for looking like Garage from these pings. Garage maybe B.
Here.
The B split through Link, there's no way. Okay, I was leaving it late. CMD is straight in. Wants a bit of action.
Just straight into B. No questions asked. Just push on in. Cloudburst. Dash through. Everything taken. And for now, just spamming some util back and forth. A lot of these darts coming in. CMD taking some heads. And UCD are coming out successful here. And that's 4 on the board. Davern, he's the only one left. But if they have something to say, they got 2. But CMD gets a 3rd for themselves. That's 1 on the board now. As UCD, just keep it simple. You know, not trying to play anything wild here. Just walk up mid. Dash your way onto B, plant the spike, and win the fights.
Yeah, just go B forehead. That's all you have to do.
It's that easy.
I've seen that strat quite a bit. A lot of people like to run it in like ecos, for example. Very rarely you see it on the pistol, and very rarely do I see it succeed. So great stuff from UCD there to find a way to get it over the line.
Exactly, and now buy-ups got a nice bit of weaponry on hand and a complete eco coming in from the side of TCD. I'm not expecting much to be able to fall forward, but maybe some classics can hit some heads. Kenosi going to start it off. Only good for the 1, but even some damage being dealt is better than nothing here, especially Thierry over on a lot of damage here. Sitting back. Oh, could be set up. picking up some kills, picking up some shots. Might not be around, but it is going to be 3 kills off the back of just classics.
They've picked up... Okay, they still have the Vandal and the Guardian. It's fine. Yeah, losing 3 is really not good there.
Yeah, I mean, they're either going to have to spend a lot, or they're going to be behind a little bit in terms of weaponry here. But they're going to actually kind of average it out. But just going to put a little bit more pressure on this round, trying to keep it going.
I'm kind of wondering what CMD got stunned by. Was it Seb's stun? Because I have a feeling it might have been his teammates.
It might have been just pulled a bit too much to the side.
Alright, C is the site again though.
This time they're gonna do exactly what they did before, which is gonna get them sight, is gonna take them there, but Elizabeth over on that lurk towards A, gonna get taken out here, so 4 versus 5. They need to set up some strong positions here, and they will, pushing all members generally towards garage and trying to also take some space towards spawn. Yeah, has to start off with some damage, and the damage is going the way for UCD. Slime gets a double and is actually going to keep on moving here. Trades come in, but CMD once again. Daverney v CMD, and it's a triple for CMD to top it all off.
Yeah, even after they lose first blood here. I mean, I think I'm seeing the game plan from UCD pretty clearly now. It's everybody picks a site, and Elizabeth plays Resident Rat and picks a part of the map to try and get a cheeky kill. But the exec is pretty decent. Paranoia into logs, jet dash in. It's structured, but it's simple, but it's very effective.
And it's looking like if it ain't broke, don't fix it here. Daverney sitting in the cage, trying to stay alive, trying to find something here. Will get one, that Bucky. We've seen it do some wonders in a lot of games, so once again, good for the one. And they're going to try to fight out and get a little bit more damage here, but the clean shots, the heads are hit, and it's looking like UCD are going to keep it fairly nice and handy. That's 4 surviving, 4 on the board. And a really good position to be in, as the money is back in the bank for TCD, and it's been feeling very monotone, I guess, in terms of how the rounds have been playing out, in terms of the... First of all, the strats from UCD, but they haven't had to switch it up, so, you know, don't change it if you're going to keep just walking onto site and taking it.
Yeah, until now. Now the position is towards A here, and they've still got 3 players here, TCD. That's where it might get scary. How much control do they want to take here? How much of a fight do they want to bring? Just the walk up. So this is going to be decent control here garnered by Skidmark. But you have to find a way to get out here. They have to think about the protocol. If they do... Oh! Wait, a sprint? Couldn't get the second though. And we can't get the shots onto CMD. Piggy John is just maybe a teensy bit of whiffage there. But TCD are still up on numbers.
Up on numbers and still keeping a nice bit of control. Throw a little bit of long way, but actually that drone gives them a nice bit of room to just know where to pull back to, where Kenose can just sit here. Timing is going to be everything, and shots as well. Gets the 2, gets checked out, but in the air you cannot hit those shots, and it's not going to be had, as Kenose just going to TP away as well. Shadow Step takes them to safety. As just 1v4 here. They've had to be the rat, but now they're all alone.
When rat not together and rat not strong is the logic.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, this is because of UCD not doing their due diligence and checking corners when they're trying to take back map control that they know they're after giving up. So it's around for TCD, yes, but it's in a fashion where they probably can't get away with it again. You're not going to be able to play in that corner on A. Now you're going to start getting droned out. You're going to start getting checked on. So you have to play the push and pull a bit more here if you want to take some more rounds.
Exactly. It kind of goes off of a little bit of just the confidence that was being exuded there. UCD just going to do what we've done this whole time. Just walk towards the site and take the fights. So it does work out there, but needs to be a sustainable push, needs to be more some consistency in trying to take these rounds. But first on the board is where you start. Both sides got 3 ultimates, so opportunities here to take some fights, and it's looking like it will be the A show once again here. As we see the pings, we see the setup here, but the defense are not going to be ready here. They're not in a position to be the ones fighting this, as that recon bolt is going to reveal a lot though, and the Hunter's Fury can be used to at least slow down the ticking time bomb that is that spike once it starts to go down.
Yeah, I think this must have been a bit of a read, because I'd say if you're UCD, you're thinking, oh yeah, they're gonna go see the A round just didn't work. So now they send it onto A, and there's just a transfer of so many ults being put on here. It's only a 1-for-1 to go though.
Well, the flank though, Elizabeth catches off. Rat v Rat Gaming goes through. And now we're going to see this defense is going to be struggling, but not if Seb's going to start by hitting those shots. 3 versus 2 is going to set in, stunned off. Thought maybe the randomness was going to work out for them, but Elizabeth needs to do something here. Walks up, goes for the fight, cannot take it, not even planted for that little corner there. So the walk-up's not going to work, and that is a huge retake to take, especially given they expended ultimates for that push. I think they used their own Hunter's Fury. They used the Rolling Thunder as well. And they used the Jet Knives there to no avail.
They just really wanted to play the trade game there, I think. Everybody was getting pretty eager. I think there was like 2 or 3 people just swinging CT looking for a fight and saying, alright, just
Rolling
trade me,
Thunder
trade
into
me, trade
spawn
me.
is, you know, it's a confidence play. And if you get those pushes through, if you get those shots off, could have been huge there. But Kinose was the one left back, was the one to take the fights back. So it was really good from them here. And now seeing a little bit more respect being shown right now over towards UCD, as they're going to take it slow, going to take a nice bit of control, going to try to push on forward, and CMD pushes past the drone, pushes past the standing Piggy John. And that's a 1-for-1, but that's a huge opening to get for themselves. Daverney set for a fight, and a fight they will win here. They can maybe just throw that neural theft, get to safety, and that's a 4v3 with full info now.
Oh, what are you doing here, Skidmark? They've got the op. Dash available as well. Oh, that's a little bit of smoke. Okay, just about gets out.
Doesn't even use the dash.
Yeah, I thought they were going to pop dash before they swung, and then they swung without it. Full confidence.
Saving that util. Gonna pull back here. But they've gained so much space off the back of that paranoia as well. Seb trying to stick in a good spot here, and Elizabeth's timing is perfection. Spike is started, plant has begun, but it gets stopped straight away. They have to commit to it, they have to go for it if they want this, and they are going to set it down. But positions are being set up. We are going to see a little bit in terms of the from the shadows here, as Daverney falls in the heaven, and now two players left here. Kinose and Skidmark trying to position themselves, but Kinose's position is perfect, damages so much, and the finishing off is all that's left. Elizabeth though, 2 HP, can't get brought down by the knives, and the paranoia pushes them back. She needs to finish this, but Kinose will be the one to tail it off with a triple on that flank. They just are not checking the backside, and they do not be ready for it as they get it to half, spam some shots, gonna get that op, and bring that deficit down to just 1 round between them now.
I mean, you can tell that TCD have got some really good understanding of this map, because as soon as the A exec started, you saw Kinose throw the smoke outside short there to allow Seb to play in. And it caused so much anxiety for UCD. They had to spend so much time clearing out and allow Elizabeth to walk up, and that gave Kinose enough time to get that flank going. So you don't, like, you need to know to put down that smoke at the right time is something that you need to have an understanding of the map for. And TCD seem to have that right now, but now they're against what might have been their kryptonite for the first few rounds.
But they're going to at least slow down that Kryptonite here. CMD not good for anything. Slime those spams through, get some shots off as Hefty, sets in a good spot here. Almost ready for him, but still 1 for 1 gotten. Aftershock is going to slow down this plant even more. TCD setting up some really good positions here for some post plants, for some retakes as Skidmark takes down 1. 2 versus 2 now. They just keep stalling, keep slowing, and keep trying to take these fights. And the op is still going to win it out. The stun just going to make life even harder. And once again, Elizabeth is alone in this 1v2 up against an op at the hands of Skidmark here. But the shot hits, but it's the wall bang, not fully down, but needs to hit some insta headshots if they want to take some kills here. Needs to start off, and it's going to just be the double tap in as they finish it out with the op. 3 kills again. Just so many huge plays in these retakes have been absolutely pivotal, and just slowing down the plants. They have not let them just take the plants since they've started winning these rounds. It's been absolutely just resistance no matter what, even if they're just sitting outside the site.
Yeah, you really saw it that round. I mean, last time UCD hit C, Kinose was content to just give up the site and ran away from it. This time they throw the paranoia and stand their ground. And Daverney even comes in for the backup. So they're really playing for the site a lot more now.
Definitely a huge change up off of what was the start of this. Recon Bolt gonna go through. They're gonna take the space though now after it pops. Just simple smoke off the garage, take so much space here. And now they're making it awkward. They're forcing them to be a little bit question marky in this drone. No. Timing could be problematic here. The Piggy John not going to get taken out this time. We saw CMD absolutely just decimate them once they popped into it over towards B a few rounds ago. This time, though, not going to lose their life over it. He's actually going to do a lot of damage here onto Theory.
I was fully expecting Theory to just run it and try to kill the Sova. But the fight or flight happened when he clicked flight. Bit of confusion to be caused. Oh, he's actually sticking it. Wait. Has to do something about this turret though, he hears it. And he's used up his smoke as front B. I don't know if he's going to be able to sneak around here. That's a great kill from Daphne to try and take off the tip of the spear with his exec.
Well, the timing here. Daverney needs to be an absolute tank just sitting back here. Oh, and the taps are actually... They're just going to slow them down. They're not going to finish them out. This flank, though, Kinose is in for 1, in for 2, in for 3. The spike goes down, but so do nearly all of the UCD side. It's just Slime left alive. Sure, they have an Odin, and they're in a pretty good spot in this garage, but need to be fighting over here. And once the shots come through, once we know a little bit, we know a lot, as that defuse can just be stuck. The spam, not going to be good for the round, but it's going to be good for 2. Skidmark sticks alive, picks up the op, and just runs it away. 5-4. They've gotten the streak off, and now they're in the lead. TCD turning this around.
UCD went for a bit of a different look that time. They said, okay, last couple of rounds you've just been picking site and execing. Now we're going to slow it down a bit, try to create some question marks. But I mean, they're not really putting too much on their sides of the map. They're just kind of smoking off sight lines. Trying to walk up onto C, but I mean, you're going straight into the hands of Daverney then. And Kinose on these flanks
committing
keeps getting away with this.
Commits to the spawn from the shadows. You just doesn't even think twice there as they go straight for it. Switching up where this op is popping as well. Timing is going to be everything, and that is a flick and a half. Headshot off CMD removes their skull. As now... I was going to say 5v4, but that becomes a 4v4 as Kinose brought down by the Odin. Elizabeth's position. Oh! Not going to be taken out, but the shot rings so heavy. Seb taken out of the garage. And it's looking like UCD setting themselves up well, but that's only momentarily. Skidmark takes another one with the op. And these kills are just huge and huge and huge here. 2v2. Spike is going to be able to be planted down. But a great position right now. Skidmark does have Bladestorm, has, you know, can wait it out as Daverney tries to take some control, take a position here. The smoke is going to be re-popped as well by Hefty, so you're going to have to be dropping through for this. Oh, and timing is everything, and timing is not what they're going to get fully. They get the first, they get 3 in the round, but Slime sits back. That Odin this time round can win out a round and can take it over the line. 5-5 as they finally bounce back after a 5-round streak from TCD.
Yeah, probably the most back and forth round you'll ever see. I don't think there was a single instance of somebody multi-fragging, or at least one happening one after another. It was always one kill on one side, other side. It just kept going all the way until the end even. And it's because that time UCD played way more spread. They haven't been doing that really so far. Slow enough, play spread. And they took a lot of fights there, but eventually they will come out on top. But now they're facing the brunt of the Sheriff. It's a bit of a sheet go here for TCD.
Yeah, a lot of scuffed weapons gotten, but those can do work here. We got Sheriff, Judge, Stinger. You know, set up in the right spots, in the right places with the right players. You can get a lot here, especially if Elizabeth cannot convert those shots here, but once you miss your shots, it's just going to slowly set on through. Seb gets one with the classic, gets an Odin in his hands. Gets a spike down. Still a difficult position here, but they're taking C site, but C site doesn't mean much if there's a spike in the window.
Oh, that's a huge kill.
Okay, there's the shadows. Yeah, but still 2v2 here with the weapons that can be recovered and the kills that can be gotten. Seb, two with that Odin now as he still fights forward, and Hefty's position could be huge here, but they are going to double up here. Huge position, huge fight, and the spam needs to come through. Both of them trying to just go for the throat, but no one's able to find it fully here. That paranoia is actually going to give away a lot of info here. He's not going to be watching where it's from, but the shot's still Seb! Seb, you started with a classic on this round!
What a round out of Seb. That's incredible. With the Odin as well. Like, when you're at that, well, they started, they picked up the Odin at 49 HP, right? And the Odin is not a one-shot headshot. So you would imagine that all these fights that he's taking at low HP, he's not going to be favored with a weapon like that, but somehow he gets it done. 4 kills on the round, 3 of them with the Odin, 1 with just the classic in window. And every single round, every single kill was massive. It just kept plowing up until you could get it to 6. And now TCD have a chance to make it an advantageous half.
Get out of my way.
No matter what, they got themselves at least a tie-up. But they're going to be hungry for more. They are going to be wanting for everything here. A lot of ults over towards the UCD side is going to be a really good position to be in. But Rolling Thunder and Hunter's Fury, you can play some mega retakes out here. You do not need to fight in this site. You can just stick back here. And they have set themselves up a little bit, UCD. They started off with the pump. They slowed it down here, and they created a little bit more question here, but not enough to slow them down here, as we're going to be seeing this come through. They're going to double up on the ults as well, but that damage is going to be dealt 1 for 1 here. Spike can now be started, can now be planted, and the spam can come through. Seb's not going to go for the shots, not going to take anything, and once again, the Odin is going to ring true, going to take some absolute kills off of the board. Lockdown going to slow them up, and the Hunter's Fury is sitting back. So it's a good position to be in this post plant, but 3v2 they need to completely slow them down.
Oh, there's so much delay here, you're absolutely right. Here's the Hunter's Fury. But the time is so close on this, they have to stick it. Whoever clicks it next. And now Daverney has to play Guardian Angel.
No.
Nah, it can't be done. It's too much. Even the CMD gives his life for the cause. In that he knew that the Rolling Thunder was going to be brought out, so he said, screw it, I'm popping the Bladestorm and I'm dashing straight into it. And it slowed down everybody. They actually didn't take the site TCD after the Rolling Thunder because they were too busy trying to take down this raging jet dashing at them in CT. So they couldn't actually capitalize properly off the Rolling Thunder. And that allowed them to get into this post plant with the Hunter's Fury and those nanoswarms on the bomb. But it ends up 6-6, so both teams still pretty evenly matched. We'll see if the same can be said when the sides are flipped.
Here.
Yeah, and it's going to be a setup here towards A at the very least from TCD. Both teams trying to get a good position. Kenosi going to be fighting, but not going to be taken out on either side here. Going to double back, stick it. Oh. And this timing is everything here. CMD hears all the steps. The rotates can come on through. Sure, it's a kill onto Elizabeth, but they're able to at least pull everything back here. Good position to be in, though, in this 5v4. CMD re-aggress could be everything. It could be nothing as Piggy John takes them out. And you know they're going to be heavy on the rotates here. They're going to have to be turning tail and running it down. And they will be, as Slime is going to be the only defender here. That dart not going to find them. So they need to find some kills here. And for now, it's not going to be it. The shock misses. The shots miss as well.
Aww. They're still getting
good
one
for
there.
one, but needs to be good for more. And more will be had. 2 HP is all they have to go with. And just going to get shot down by the Sheriff. 7-6 here. So TCD going to take the lead after that evened up half.
How does Slime get 2 there? That's unbelievable.
They
It's
know
still
exactly
around
where you are. You got
TCD.
30 HP.
30 HP, shocking yourself. You're still getting 2. You got 3 people collapsing on top of you. I mean, sure, thriving. Absolutely thriving. But TCD have a couple bulldozers in this one. No big gun, no Phantom/Vandal at all. And CMD does have this Marshall. He's trying to do his best McNuggets cosplay.
I mean, if you can do half of what McNuggets does with it, I think you can carry.
Oh, not him.
I mean, not many people are him. You know, McNuggets is a one of a kind, so it won't hold it against him. But miss shot, a lot of control going to be gotten now from TCD as they slowly coil their way around A and do their due diligence. Check out all these angles, use their util. Gonna start with some smokes here. Slime, you saw them do it last round, do a lot of damage with 30 HP, but I think a classic versus all these weapons might be a bit of a struggle, especially now that they're all even pulling more breaks here. They're not fully committing here. They're still taking it so slowly. They're not trying to give anything away here, and so they will be just taking it slow, taking these fights one at a time, clearing out the site, and it is going to be theirs.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
How does this retake look, though? I mean, you don't have great. We've 1 Sheriff and 1 Marshal, I think, and the rest are classics. And you got a guy on 30 HP. What can you do if you're UCD here? We have... Do we have an Aftershock? Do we have a fault line? Anything? We're just going straight out. Yeah, and TCD are farming up those kills. It's not even 1 on the board for UCD. And I'm kind of surprised that TCD bring out a round like that in their anti-eco. A round where you pump A, have somebody sit short and just play for sound then. Because they heard Slime rotate off, they heard CMD rotate off as well. And that's what allows them to go A without any contest whatsoever. But I'm kind of surprised that they pull out a strat like that on the anti-eco.
Right here.
Yeah, giving it a full amount of energy and strategy there. Making sure they want to confirm these rounds. I think they know the power that UCD can kind of hold if they're hitting some of these shots, you know. Especially because even on their own eco, you know, they turned it around with Seb. So you want to make sure that you don't fall to those kind of rounds. You don't give away that kind of damage here. And now going into this, 8-6, trying to set up for 9. We are going to see Skidmark invest on that Outlaw, which, you know, I kind of like this. You know, they invested a little bit. You know, there was a Sheriff. You know, there was a Marshal. You know, they spent a bit of cash. So there's going to be a few half armors, and they are going to be right on that. They just need to hit those body shots, take those fights. And now a lot of control is still going to be given towards A here. They are not contesting it themselves. Slime and CMD.
Oh.
And they're even going to pull back here off of, I think, just some outlaw shots from the side of Skidmark here. A is just going to be free. Sight is going to be pounced on. And they can just take the site, put the timer down, spike it, and get themselves set up really nicely here for this round.
Okay, so now you get to see what this retake looks like when it actually has some legs. UCD should have way more util for this, but Piggy John is still farming up. Only good for one though, he's good for two last time. He's gonna have to be if they want a chance at this round, but Daverney is instead stepping up. Slime has no chance. I mean, hook, line, and sinker, but twice. You ever fall for the same base 2 times in a row? I think it's... I don't even know if Skidmark tried to actually shoot anybody. I don't think Hefty like jump peeked or anything. I think it was just shoot 2 outlaw bullets, and then the doves come flying. You know, the pigeons start flying as soon as they hear a loud noise, and as they're going away from A, and that's exactly what TCD want.
Exactly, and if it works, and it does right there. So now, UCD, they're going to be set onto lesser weaponry once again here. Good position to be in for TCD, and they're just going to push it forward, take a lot of control, try to push towards C this time, switch it up. You know, they put a lot of pressure on A the last 3 rounds, and it has worked out. Switch it up against this. Stun going to slow him down, but overall, this should be a good situation. Take out the first. That Bucky not going to find any value here. And now the flank comes on through from CMD. Needs to hit some damage here. But unless they hit, you know, a Sheriff Ace, I'm not seeing it. But I'm willing to change my mind when some evidence gets them placed through. But good positions right now, and TCD should be set for double digits.
Should be, but CMD's shooting. Good for a second as well, but now he has to find the ace to clutch, and it's not to be whatsoever. 10-6 now, and they're looking way more dominant when they're on their attack half, Kurt.
Yeah, the actual plays coming through, you know, they're keeping it simple. It's been, you know, some good strats, but simple. Have just been trying to go for these double pumps, slow it down. You know, I think the idea that we always gotta set forward. You gotta set some question marks across the map. You can't. You gotta be really just leaving this trail of breadcrumbs all over the place that you just cannot solidify on, like the previous round where they had Skidmark just throw in a few outlaw shots. You know, usually you won't get all of the members to rotate, but at least you can draw some eyes. So making it work there is going to be huge. And now, this is when UCD pop themselves a timeout, try to figure out what's going wrong here. It is going to be a lot to fight up against, as they're going to have a bye, but 3 ultimates are going to be online for TCD to fight it forward.
Yeah, UCD aren't too far from a few as well. I mean, the economy, yeah, it's sitting way more nicely for TCD though. The snowball just keeps on rolling for this half. AWP was brought out though for CMD. A couple of times where I've seen the AWP be brought out, and it's like the pivotal point. And all of a sudden, oh my god, they got the opener, they got the first kill in the round, usually is what it is, and that's how it all spirals then. But you actually have to peek into it, and nobody is giving CMD the time of day. It's all C again.
Oh, and we're gonna see, you know, Daverney being the one to fight with it over there with the cam, but now they're pushing forward. Now they're going with some Hunter's Fury. Now they're backing it up here. Oh, and Kenose gonna beat out the Odin as well. The fight comes through. The classic has to be dropped, and the AWP doesn't even get a chance to fire forward. 5 versus 2, and the round is set in stone already, unless some heroics can come in. And these positions are so deep and so powerful. Headshots come in. Kenose with 3, just 1 left to fight, and he's up against the triple peak over there. Daverney picks that up easy. 11 on the board for TCD, and it's looking like clear sailing.
Yeah, no mix-up is getting the best of TCD whatsoever. Even going late, guys. I mean, there's plenty of times now where a UCD member looks like they're set up on a good angle. Somebody is on the other side of that wall. Somebody's on the other side waiting to peek. But they're just waiting for the noise to be made on the other side of the map. And then the UCD, they flock to it. There's so many times now, like C&D would have been set up to get a kill there and shut down that lurk, but instead he turns around saying, oh, the exec is on C, I need to get some action here.
And they're trying so hard. They're really pushing to make a play here. So much to make a fight. It might not have been them, but Slime, the Ares comes online. The God of War fires for 2, just spamming through walls and smokes. And that's the best advantage they've gotten so far in this half. And it's off the back of just some nice bit of spam.
Good way to start, but TCD have just hit the brakes here. Trying to come up with a new plan. Or walk back into the right spots here. I mean, they have the bread and butter for what you need for an exec. They've got smokes. They've got a dash. Got flashes.
The drop is hard though. Yeah, they're in a position to do it. You know, as you said, they got all the pieces. They just have to put the puzzle together. Time is ticking though. 25 seconds. They need to make a move. If they choose out this C site, it is going to be set for victory here. But that is a good bolt, but not going to be able to convert those shots here. From the shadows gets popped. Going to give them a little bit of room to play with. And if they can get this spike down, if they can get this damage dealt, Seb is good for 2. And a spike is good for going down here. 2 versus 3. CMD going to run back, try to pick up one of these Vandals that has been dropped, but that's going to take some time. That's going to force your clock to dwindle just that bit more as the 3 site players can just sit back and wait it. Timing's going to be everything, and timing is not going to actually be good enough for a moment here. Elizabeth won, but needs to be good for more. 2 damaged players here. The updraft throws off the aiming, and Kenose gets 3 in the round, turns that 3v5 into splendor.
And now it's 5-6 rounds in a row for TCD. The communication, just how well these 2 players are playing together. Skidmark and Kinose there. For Kinose to have the confidence to peak after Skidmark's updraft to say like, yeah, they're going to be distracted enough. My teammate has calmed, I'm going to updraft, and they're not going to be looking at you. You can swing, and is 100% trust in it. It's so good. And now Kinose has gotten the first blood in this round. It's piling up now for UCD. That's the first nail in the coffin.
Oh, but the crowbar comes in. CMD cinches themselves for a double. 3v3. Some good positions here, but good positions are not going to be good enough here with the shots that TCD are hitting. Hefty left in the back of the site, sitting back, gets one, is able to pull back, and the Hunter's Fury can slow it up here. Just going to try to position for some good spots here. Oh, Seb not going to get shot out, but still slow them up. 2 versus 2. They can have a chance here, and this owl drone is going to give them a nice bit of info as to where everything's going to be. They know how close is safe. They just need to figure out where the rest of the pieces are, as Rolling Thunder can be thrown forward after this bolt hits. Timing is everything though, and Hefty is good for 1. Needs to stick back. Skidmark though, taking these fights, sticking in the corner, pulls it through. Dart is going to be thrown. Deal some damage, deal some shots. The Odin and the Shock are enough damage to take him out. And so the first round in this half for UCD comes through, but it's 12-7, baby. It's still so far away. But, you know, gotta take that first step on the way up the mountain.
Yeah, I think that what they're looking at is actually Everest. This is the biggest mountain that the level have to climb. With, I mean, you need 5 more rounds in a row.
Getting that double into the clutch.
I mean, it's off of aggression as well. It was just individualism. that got that round for UCD. And you can't be relying on that to get 5 more rounds in a row.
They even lost the first pick that round, so if they can get themselves an opening, they can get themselves a good position, could be good. But 4 versus 5 over to, or 4 sitting towards B side. Words are lost on me. And TCD are setting up for this. CMD, good for the 1. But they're actually going to be in a good position here as Hefty sits back, fires forward 2 for themselves, and Skidmark fires back this Odin again. Gonna take 1 for its troubles. 1 versus 2 here. Seb, absolute hero. Done some work in the first half. We saw them with an Odin, this time with a Vandal in a 1v2. Can get the plant down, can set up with a nice bit of util here, and they're setting their sights over towards A when he's just gonna run back and take C.
Alright, what do you do here? The fault line's coming back in 5. You've a flash to work with, the aftershock as well. You've got some decent delay, but you can't really be playing for delay when you're at a man disadvantage like this. They have to go for a play to get 1, but I think they're just going to play back. This is tough to do. Very, very tough to do when you're a man down. I mean, the stun is going to be good, but Elizabeth should just be able to hold this. Half tier. Notice they're off. Still going, and Seb just gets the shot. I mean,
They
the
just
cover,
gamble.
yeah. TCD on top at every moment, even in the moments when they had a disadvantage, they found a way to claw it back. I mean, you can't describe a more dominant half than what went on right there in front of your eyes on TCD's attack.
Kinose went 25 and 12, man. Absolute powerhouse over towards here. Like, everyone was performing, of course, but man, like Seb, man got some huge rounds. He clutched out the last round, got the Odin play. He only had 13 kills, man, but every single kill, every single moment, it was impact, and that's what you want to see here. It's not about the number, it's about where those numbers are placed. And that is 13-7 on the board. TCD take map 1, set themselves up for a great position. They can at least play for, a tie to top off this leaderboard, but they want to go for the full thing. And we are going to go to a short little break, just a few minutes, while we set up for our map 2 of Bind. And we are back with game number 2. We're going to be seeing TCD versus UCD over on Bind. Before we get into it, though, just going to, thank a couple more sponsors. Thank you to Play and Stack, we're powered by natives. All those guys, thank you always to the sponsors. But Bind is coming up. We got TCD winning out the first map, 13-7. And we're going to see if UCD can bounce back and get themselves at least a tie in this best of 2. What are you thinking, Schmergen?
I'm thinking after how dominant that attack side was from TCD, I'm a little scared for what they could pull out again. I mean, they're starting on attack once more. But this time, they don't have a hero that they had last map.
No, that we've had a bit of a sub out. We've had to lose out. Seb will be taking a back seat right now for the game, and Nicotine will be popped into position here, and they're going to be actually the one going onto that raise.
And I suppose they just wanted to do it for comp reasons, because I know Seb is, well, he's played a bit of Raze, but I'd say he's much more comfortable on that initiator role. Speaking of initiator, I mean, Skidmark's going from Jet onto Sky here. That's a decently big change up. I mean, Sky has a lot of different play styles to play aggressive, play passive.
Yeah.
But in speaking of comps, very different comps here. So one of them is running double initiator in TCD on the Fade and Sky, but in contrast, UCD are running the double controller with the Viper and the Brim. Now, what's a little different here is that Elizabeth is on the Cypher. And now usually, when you see a double controller comp on Bind, teams will usually just go double initiator. Because double initiator is such an important piece on Bind. And if you've been watching Tier 3, Valorant, you've been in the space at all, and you've seen any bit of Bind, you'll know what it's like trying to play Bind with only one initiator. It is kind of painful. You have to put bodies on the line for information. And they don't really have any good agents for that. If Elizabeth was on like a chamber, then you can hold down some space to keep info, but when you're running the Cypher like this, you're putting a lot of reliance just on the Cypher setup when you're going up against a dog, 3 dogs that can point out where trips are going to be. I mean, this might be a nightmare for UCD just based off the comp, but we'll see how it all shakes out in the pistol.
Yeah, just going to keep it slow. A lot of spread here. Towards TCD here. Pushing forward, just this huge wall always just has to be popped. Puts so much pressure towards Lamps, keeps a lot of info off the players towards A. But this spread, they haven't even decided where they want to go. They have no spike even in hand. They just want to get a little bit of control, see where on the map a lot of that power is going to be pushed towards. But it's looking like reconvening towards A. Going to take a bit more of that control. They can pop some more of this util. They're going to make their way on out. Flash going to be timed really well here. The shorty is in position, but not with the eyes it needs. Taken out. Slime not going to be able to fight that, but the other kills being popped. CMD with the paint shells can stop that spike from going down. And in this 4v3, it's going to be a struggle. Every single time they try to get the plant down, they get stopped by something. And this time, 2 versus 4. You're going to be fighting a losing battle. But they're going to win out some of the fights here. Piggy John good for 2. Spike goes down. Just Skidmark here. Pulls back. Has a Trailblazer, but needs to just stick alive here. Oh, and that's a headshot and a half. Hefty taken out there. The high HP player. And just behind them is Elizabeth with so little left. Just needs a couple taps. They might have went off the duelist, but they're not missing the shots.
Yeah, none whatsoever. I mean, the 2 heroes there, Skidmark and Piggy John, who definitely is running that Viper and is running a double controller on the side of TCD. And it's what a shot at the end out of Skidmark. I mean, holy moly. What heroes. It was a 2v4 at some point. That's all you can put it down to. The shots were hit. And TCD are going to steal away that pistol round.
Great setup from UCD to, you know, get into an advantageous position, but those shots, those hits, the damage that was being dealt was huge. Elizabeth's going to push through, thread a needle, but not precise enough to hit the mark. Just catches in between the lines. And Hefty forced back here. The side is free. Gonna go in the hands of TCD and Nicotine. They might not have been the one in the server last time, but they are warmed up and ready to go. 3 kills on the board with that Bulldog. Slime fighting for a little bit of damage that is not going to be dealt as CMD is left alone in the 1v5.
Flawless. That's what you want to be seeing here if you're TCD. You're carrying over all those weapons. Even though Slime was running the Bucky. What is going on recently, Kurt? Maybe you have an idea here. There's been, in the last, like, month, some kind of Bucky resurgence in Tier 3, Tier 2, and now in Collegiate as well. What is going on here? Is this just, like, late
It's the best weapon in the
from
game.
Zekken? Or, like, what?
It's the best weapon in the game.
It's just the best weapon in the game?
That's my professional opinion. No, but I'm also, you know, a little bit perplexed trying to figure out what people are popping into that they're getting here. But, I mean, there's so many situations where it works. I think can't underestimate the fact that, you know, if you get this angle, if you get, you know, these ratty positions, if you can get these close angles in the smoke or just playing off these lurks, you can do a lot here. Oh, and Slime, it might not be the Bucky, but it can sure as hell do a lot. You know, it's a little bit more expensive, but being able to just double tap over there is going to basically leave a site perfectly in order.
Yeah, Slime was the one with the, I say this in air quotes, weaker weapon for UCD. Only one with not a rifle, and they're the one getting 2 kills. Nicotine is, you know, it's just about good enough. They'll get out, but you're not getting anywhere further than that. Theory will clean it up.
The aim is willing, the double satchel is not. Yeah, Slime really doomed that round for failure over towards TCD there, but we're not able to get really anything even when they did break out onto side a little bit. So just off tail end of that. Now they can buy up all the weapons they want on this 4th. That judge is still in play. Slime, you know. Stick with what's good, man, and a spammable shotgun is pretty good in a lot of situations as long as you're not running against a lot of range.
Yeah, some players on bind just play the judge, I swear. Like, the proportion of rounds with the judge compared to the ones without a judge is... It's much higher for the judge, I'll say that. Some players just do it. It is a pretty good weapon. You just have to use it right, though. And right now, Slime is trying to set himself up into shower. No challenge, though. It's just a bit of B control taken here for TCD, but they've sacrificed a man for it.
Yeah, dropped off Nicotine once again. Falling flat. Daverney not going to get taken out by the judge there. Acquitted of all his crimes. As 4v4 going to go forward. That's a really good Seekers to pop and slow up the defense here. 4v4. Spike is going to go down. And they're all going to be coming from the same direction here, so good spot to be in. Need to just make sure not to lose out these fights. Daverney's taking this fight over and over again and not being punished. Skidmark takes out CMD after they thread through, and this tether is even better. Hefty pulled forward, knocked down, and that's 4 in style from Daverney, just sticking on that headshot angle, and they are not able to deal with it.
It's so awkward. That headshot angle is so awkward trying to deal with it. And if you're on, like Daverney is, clicking heads like that, sure, you can get away with it. Sometimes it's just so hard to actually find the head on either side. But sometimes it's child's play. And I hope this doesn't... Oh, there's the judge again for Slime. Found out early this time. And pushed off.
Takes out the Trailblazer, runs away, asks no more questions, but they're going to get some value here. CMD Theory just pushing forward alongside Dizzy. Good position to be in for UCD. TCD can just pull out those rotates. And now, oh, good for one is Hefty. That snake bite and the Judge dealing loads of damage. And now in a 2v4, going to be so difficult to try to recover this, especially now that Elizabeth has, at the very least, crossed in to get some info.
Yeah, it was a nice push from CMD in theory to have a little crunch going on with the TP. Dizzy was very effective at holding back for the second fight as well. And that's the kind of things you want to be seeing on Bind, and CMD keeps going. All for 3 as well. Alright, great round out of him. That's what you want to see on Bind. I know Hefty did kind of scuff the wall there. The wall is definitely the last layer to that. But it didn't matter. As long as you kill all the opponents, you should be fine, right?
Exactly. That's all it's about. And now, definitely, this time around, seeing a lot more resistance on their attacking side. Oh.
Well, could have just popped the satchel at that point. Yep, straight in is CMD.
Go straight
is
forward.
not getting a single one. It doesn't work in the game. It's not coded right.
They ruined
There's
it.
something wrong.
Show has been stopped. And that's 4 versus 3. You'd think the ultimate would be an advantage, but no.
What are these? Has he smoking behind himself as well? We've got 4 smokes going on at A short. And a guy inside of the Judge. And then Hefty in the corner here. Can't find anything though. Great diligence from TCD. And that's B site wide open. As long as they don't get stalled out too much by these trap wires. Just take him out, please. There we go.
Oh, and spam comes through, but no shots are going to be hit here. Molly's good, but a little bit too little too late here. Elizabeth hits the head. So 3 versus 2 is pushed in, but still not going to be enough. It shouldn't be, as Slime might have threaded through, but they're on an island, and this island does not have much land left, as they're going to get shot through. No, they're going to take the fight. They're going to win it out. Low HP versus the Judge. The Judge is usually going to win here, and they almost beat that Sheriff with a classic.
Almost. Unfortunately, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so TCD are the ones going to be taking that round. And now UCD are in a bit of a swing round here. Couple half armors, and money is not looking great here. And if TCD get this round across, then the economy is going to be sitting pretty nicely for the latter part of this half. They've got decent ults for us here. They have the fish. They've got the Knurled Heft as well, so you can get your lurk on. Elizabeth has been pretty good at it so far. They'd have to make some pretty aggressive plays though if they want it. Instead, it's just straight through into U-Haul here, and that's a fantastic flash. And they know all about where CMD is playing. What a call from TCD. Everybody walk up short. I mean, nobody's done that so far. It's been super slow with that wall. Instead, it's instant. Everybody going through, and the flash as the last cherry on top.
That's the thing that's so huge about these walls, that you can pop. So, you know, you pop this wall every single round. It means that every single round you change it up. It adds another layer of what you could be doing. Because it's like, oh, they've never pushed it, so they're never going to push it, right? But they changed that up, and Elizabeth going to get some damage dealt here, but in 1v3, not expecting much, especially with that time ticking as they sit on back, hoping to maybe take some. Kanose swings through, but not far enough. Taken out. 5 on the board, though. TCD going for blood.
Camera taken out.
And it's going to be a good start for them, especially now that a lot of damage is being dealt to that economy of UCD, as they cannot stabilize a single time. And a timeout, you know, try to set yourself straight, try to calm down the nerves and get something going here, because it's fallen apart very, very quickly.
Yeah, momentum is sitting firmly for TCD now. The money is quite poor. It is very dire if you're UCD. Hey, what are you gonna be looking at here? See, this is the issue with running only one initiator. All you have to do, if Theory is playing A, or if there's another initiator on the board, all you have to do, throw one piece of util into that wall, and you know something's up. But because you're only running one, you can't really spend it. One could be on the wrong site. And that's what bites them there. CMD just has to play in the corner and pray, okay, I'll get a clean fight here, surely, right, and then gets flashed in the face.
Exactly. If they themselves had either a Fade or a Sky of their own, you could get so much info so easily with very little invested. So it is gonna just a difficult one to try to run with. Especially now that they're haven't been able to get the value they've wanted. But 4 ults, they have a little bit. They're gonna expend a little bit of cash here. They have that saved weapon. Try to back up something off of it. It looks like they're going to be putting a lot of pressure towards BU. So walking into the hands of the player that does have the rifle here could be huge if UCD get the playmaking online here. They do hear it though, so they might change their tune once they know something. But nope, just going to keep on pushing. Takes the fight, take it forward. Now we're going to see exactly what they can do. Trailblazers are going to go forward. Oh, the showstopper. Even more, you know, you might as well. Pushing for these shots. Oh, pushing back. Not going to actually deal with anything, but the amount of space they've gotten is huge. But sight still isn't really under their control.
Oh, Nicotine is very ambitious to stick around. It's actually TP'd back. Oh, I can't help but feel. I mean, 3v5, and I can't help but feel it's because Nicotine was very ambitious with that ult. And speaking of ults, we're getting so many invested into this round. It's super important here. This would be a huge round for UCD to get, especially if TCD are investing all of this just to get it over the line. And they're hardly going to be ready for Hefty on the flank.
No, I'm not expecting that Stinger to just run on back. 25 seconds, 38 HP. TCD really painted into a corner right now, and so little that feels like it can be done. Just gonna try to take this fight, it seems, but not gonna be able to garner much here. Just taking out Hefty. That flank gets one, takes out Kenosi to get the round, and that's huge for UCD to be able to pick up.
Yeah, I think Nicotine was a pretty pivotal part of that round. I feel like they should have just taken the kill onto Elizabeth with the showstopper, but they got very ambitious with it and just sent it into CT. Fine, if you can still clear out the person backside. It was only Elizabeth there. Probably still had some util to crunch on her. But then sticking around in elbow looking for a fight afterwards, I mean, it's just a little overconfident maybe.
Yeah, just a little bit of that just popping on through. Oh, Piggy John catches the little Lurk of CMD. But 1 for 1 gotten. Still, that's a lot of damage to be dealt. A lot of power to be lost. And now in this 4v4, they can start to set up a little bit here. That pit is going to completely lock out the hookah position without a lot of util to back it up.
I mean, you're definitely worse off losing your Viper instead of losing your Raze here.
I mean, that's what you want your Raze for. You want them to be the body to take some space, take some control, and if you can take down the controller with that, you're going to be pretty happy here. The Seeker is going to come on through. They have a little bit of info to work with. Big ult to pop here. Forced forward through the lamps. As now Slime.
Fight taken after it though. Slime was just given free reign.
That free reign is quickly assuaded as their spam gives them a little bit too much. Daverney, this time round, the headshot angle is going to be thwarted, is going to be a little bit compromised. And now Thrash is going to be popped, gone forward. They're doubling up here. is only good for the one though, but one might be all they need. Nicotine gonna be fighting it out. Detained out of luck. And that's 4 on the board. UCD doing what happened to them, bringing it back a bit. It hasn't been as dominant. TCD haven't been able to set up the stage as much as they'd like. And they're punishing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to play aggressive after getting Thrash. And Thrash is very nice to invest there. Daverney not getting a kill onto bench is a little tragic. Maybe they're feeling a bit confident after the last round that they had on it. To think, ah yes, I can get another kill here. Get my team up. And then they fall. And it's gotten UCD to 1 away now from tying up the scoreboard again. And that's a great way to start. And okay, we're going back towards A here. As a double up onto Hookah, and that cam is going to get some really good info as well. The crunch can begin. TCD have nowhere to go.
Pushed back into just so little control. CMD still holding forward, still getting a lot. And now just going to keep putting pressure on as well. Not going to back off, not going to give away anything. Can you see? Brought down. Skid mark. Reaching the end of their rope. As they're going to get forced back. Daverney is in no man's land as well.
Wants to find a way around the trip, yeah. No way, and now heads are
down
turned.
Spike down B.
There's no safety
30
on B.
seconds left.
And Skidmark left all alone. 1 versus 5. That Sheriff, you know, could be good for a head, but that is going to be the most of their worries here. 20 seconds. Need to at least go for it. Go for some of these fights. Try to take something here. And now that trip is just going to be a huge nail in the coffin. Oh, the cam on top of it. Everything just falling apart. 3 in the round for CMD. And that opening just completely solidified it here against the lesser weaponry, it feels like.
UCD, they've done wonders after that timeout. Whatever they discussed must have been the greatest pep talk ever, because the score is once again tied. And CMD does have the showstopper now. Where is he playing? Playing towards long here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for another TP play here. Or if he just sends it long after they find out there's a stampede over here at Fountain.
Oh, it doesn't pop through. Not going to start it. Oh, showstopper gone through, and Nicotine is going to be the one to be brought down. 4 versus 5 now, and that is a huge position to be in. To stick forward here. Can clear out some angles here, but
okay.
That's a nice one. Piggy John looked like they should have been caught off, but quicker on the trigger. 4v4, 2 to a site for this defense. They're just going to hold on back. Still got the wall, still got the trips. Don't need to overinvest right now.
I can't believe Theory's putting his body on the line like this. I mean, he's getting away with it just fine. They're aware there could have been a cross. Oh no, UCD are calling the bluff here.
There.
3 people bolstered on this B site.
I must wait a moment.
30 seconds left.
That's exactly where TCD are looking to go here. They still have to deal with these Cypher trips, and there's only 20 seconds left. You're just running out, and you're getting caught by the trips. It's not a great look. Well, especially if Slime is tearing you to pieces with the Odin. And now UCD have found themselves the lead.
You saved, spend it.
Taking it over. It's been a while since they've been able to see that lead. It's been, I think, the first 4 rounds of the first game is where they saw a lead. So now being able to take that back 6-5, set themselves up into, you know, what could be ahead of the side of DCD here, especially with the weaponry on hand. very good opportunity to do so, especially if they can keep up exactly what they've been doing here. CMD once again pushing for the goalposts. Gonna go over the bar though, not able to take it.
Ooh, nice shot out of Theory. Oh,
Yeah, just
look at this push from
sticking
Hefty.
high.
Oh, they're aware of it though, but Hefty has gotten some timing here. Piggy John, I think he's aware though. Oh, yes, he is. What the diligence out here from TCD is immaculate. But Theory keeps popping heads. Has all the
What's
util
he-
available as well. If as soon as about 10-15 seconds go with no sound here, you can just pop that dizzy, find out if anybody's still playing long, and then give the call to the team.
I think Skidmark gave just enough heal as well that that shot from Piggy John, you know, he took a bullet, didn't die. Especially after that first fight. Oh, good dropping some util off of A here, but it's not gonna
30 seconds left.
move any bodies here. They know the setup is a little bit closer towards A now, though, so Kinose has a little bit more free reign to run with.
Yeah, they
Just
know they
slow
can just
their
walk
way.
out. There's no Cypher util here. I'm wondering
Exactly.
if just plant, they don't go try further. Okay, they just plant.
Spike
Dizzy's
planted.
up as well, and now Kinose is on an island and can't thrive under the pressure. It's all Theory here, and Piggy John is on 21 HP. Wingman is on the defuse, and it's all looking hopeless already.
Oh, spam, not going to be quick enough, not going to be clear enough. They're just trying to run it around, but can just stick wings over towards it. And that's 7-5 for UCD. Looking really strong, especially after that first game. Bringing it back. They get their own 5 in a row to tail off the half. And now it's up to TCD to try to pick up the pieces themselves if they want to win this best of 2 out.
Oh, this is where the comp comes back in. So, you're running a Viper and a Cypher. And a Cypher isn't run too much on bind. Usually what he's good at is lurking up short or shower. Right, but that's what the Viper's does now. This is the Viper's job. That's what Hefty's going to be doing. So what role does Elizabeth have in this comp, on this team, when they're on the attack side of bind? We're going to find out here. Or we only might find out, because I think... We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
KOKA is going to be a
Contact.
huge target. Slowly making their way. That's a huge flash into a huge snake bite.
Launching smoke.
Oh, just turning it.
Oh!
He's talked about the lurk, talked about, you know, the possibility of what Hefty can do here. But what Hefty can do is, in terms of it, not a lot. Oh, the shorty only had one in the chamber, so now going to be taken out. Theory fighting for their life, and they're going to get taken out here.
Down B.
And now Slime is left in what could definitely be
30
described
seconds
as
left.
a bit of a pickle. It's a very unique one when you don't have control of your keyboard and mouse. I'm
That's what it feels
wondering
every day in my
when does TCD figure it out?
10 seconds left.
They're not even going to fight for it. They're just going to stick back.
I love CMD posting that he's AFK, and then TC just don't believe it, because obviously you're not going to believe it. It's so good. Okay, so that does mean a bit of a tech pause, and I think, if I am not wrong, we get to reset the round, because there is no damage being dealt,
But
and he DC'd like right as the round started, so there was no damage done, and no real info gotten by the time Slime DC'd there, so I think we're redoing it. May or may not get confirmation. Or we may or may not just be setting it up now. So, It's time to talk about comps.
Time to talk about what they can do. I mean,
Very
as you're
Yeah,
yeah,
good example of the
no,
lurk right there.
yeah.
Kino say, just Kino say watching YouTube on his iPad and get spotted by Hefty is so good, and then Hefty can't get the kill. And you know what? I wouldn't even blame him on that. I'm blaming the ghost. The ghost sometimes just does not hit whatsoever.
No, it can struggle from that, you know.
The ghost sometimes just
The
does
easy
not
shots
work.
are the
It really
hardest shots
doesn't.
that you'll ever hit.
Yeah. So
We are
there you
gonna
go.
get a
That was a
rollback
good
though.
example there of getting lurked on because you don't have info. You didn't have a chance to be like, oh yes, we need info behind this wall. We have two initiators, 1A, 1B. I can just pop a dog behind us to find out. UCD don't have that, so they just kind of raw dogged us, really, and just said, "You're not gonna go behind this wall. I know you won't." But then Hefty did. If only he got the kill there. But he has a second chance at life. Maybe the greatest from shame to fame in a pistol you ever seen.
Yeah, now we're gonna see if something can be changed up. If something, you know, if we're gonna be seeing a similar thing. Obviously, last time was that 4v5, so now we're gonna be ticking down to see if what's gonna change, what strats are gonna be popped on through.
Careful.
But this time, you know, they don't just have the lurk wall. They don't just have the Viper going. They also got the brim smokes. That's gonna be a huge boon to actually be able to pop some of those. Get some power on board to back it up. And it's looking like we might get a little brawl towards the showers at the very least, with the way this push-up might be looking.
Might just be CMD. He doesn't have... I think he's just going to try and take the control here with the Roomba. He's going to get shot out, and then he will decide if he wants to fight or not. So the info is exchanged. And Showers sits firmly with TCD here. And Hefty, redemption.
Learned from their mistakes previously. And now all that is instantly going to fall. Spike is straight away going to be planted. And the round is just completely turned around this time around. It's looking like TCD are going to be the ones to set forward, get it going. But Piggy John, good for 2 so far this round. Definitely going to be going for more. Trying to get a good spot here, trying to get a good position. There's a flank coming in as well. But the timing is going to to be perfect. Piggy John, you pick up another 2. You take some more fights, but Elizabeth coming through the tail end. So low HP on both these players. The timing going to come on in. The defuse going to be started here. And that is a huge cam. That is everything. That flank breaks the round that Piggy John just built up like a house of cards.
It would have been the ace for Piggy John there. It's so many ups and downs in that, right? From Hefty getting the kill on the redemption, and then UCD taking the site cleanly after a couple kills, and you're thinking, uh-oh, they're gonna win. The second chance at pistol. UCD win it this time instead of losing. This is tragic. And then Piggy John steps up again in a pistol, but this time can't close it because they're not watching for the flank. Elizabeth, the resident rat, closes it out and starts to mount this lead for UCD here.
I think we found the role that Cypher holds alongside the Viper here. It's just rat in big font.
Anybody can be a rat, or maybe everybody wants to.
Is that
be
like a
rat, maybe?
motivational thing?
Yeah. Put it with like a white text and like a inspirational background of like a sunset in a lake or something. Anybody can be a rat. You could be a rat.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
This round, on the other hand,
is not.
is TCD just not having the weaponry, not having the firepower. And no rat value is able to be gotten. Daverney trying to break in through hook. 9-5 here, and now UCD. They're going to be the ones that want to drive this forward. They want to take this to that 1-1. They want to tie it out. And they're looking like they're setting up a good position to do so here. This is TCD's chance to bounce on back. Do not want to give away double digits right now. Do not want to throw this away after such a good first game.
And I'm just saying, Slime has a shotgun. I'm gonna be scared if they're running a shotgun. It is on the Brimmy though, so it doesn't really have, unless you're just stimming yourself and going running in. You don't really have the power of just satcheling and not getting hit and then one pumping somebody. So let's see how it works out.
See what it is going to do, as they're going to just burst on through, try to take as much control as possible. Fighting over in the lamps is going to be Slime. That shotgun is not going to be it, but CMD's Vandal will at least be one. Theory taking a little step into the fire and flames. Just taking a look. See, that haunt is going to give away a lot of info as to how close they are or how close they aren't, especially spam through. They see a little glimpse of Elizabeth. No hero today, as Hefty is the one alone. The defuse comes through. The snake bite might take him out, but gonna finish out the defuse before they can get brought down. 9-6, and that's exactly what you need if you are TCD. You need to get the ball rolling. You need to get back into this game, and it starts with winning out against UCD's bonus.
Yeah, 9-6. Still have 3 rounds to get though. And what I want to note there as pretty important is Skidmark's dog. Hefty was set up there to get alert into shower for the post plant. But Skidmark has the diligence to say, I'm going to throw the dog through the TP here to clear for Daverney. And Daverney's alerted about it and it dissuades Hefty. So that's a really good UC util right there. And Double Inish is showing its value.
You got to use the dog to clear the rats.
Yeah. The natural predator.
Oh, Nicotine was good for one there with Theory. Good for the kill back. Hefty on that short showers lurk. Takes themselves another one as well. And Skidmark is going to try to retake some space, reclaim after a disadvantage is dropped through. This position is huge though. Starts off with one, needs to be more, but it is just going to be that one. Smoke can be popped, Molly can be started. Not going to stop out Wings, and actually I think Molly spreads a bit wide, doesn't stop the plant. I think it pops off the edge of the wall.
There's my buddy.
With Thrash online as well, this is very rough here. Good shot from Hefty. And now, Piggy John, they have been the hero before. But what if they did it again?
What if they did? Too bad there's someone on the back lines watching it out. Oh, peeking alongside Dizzy is Elizabeth to get them to double digits. 10-6 now. UCD are looking good. Looking to take this 1-1 and keep both them at least level in terms of win-loss draw. And now it's going to be difficult. TCD back to literally scraps. But as we talked about the Buckies, we spoke about them. There's 2 on the board. They're both sitting towards the A as well, just waiting for some fights to happen, I imagine.
I'm telling you, it's a resurgence. It's some kind of resurgence.
Nice bit of spam, Skidmark. I'm not gonna. You're gonna do a little bit.
Taking map control at every part here. It seems he's gonna clear out the pocket. Good control garnered here, but all you have to do is send the Skydog or send one flash, and then you know if the controls are being held or not.
If it means anything, or if it is just a little prelude to what is to come.
Yeah, just smoke and mirrors. The Bucky. Chance. Just teed up for 1, not 2 though.
See, that's where the judge gets a little bit more value there. You know, that's where that little bit more cash comes in to top it all off. Oh, the stim's going to come in, detained and stimmed, the duality of a lifetime. The molly, though, going to stop everything in a second. Bucky is going to be it. Judge good for another. Lamp's going to be taken through. Spike is going to be planted as well. This pit is everything. All makes the sound. They know a lot. And it's just going to be a second here. Once some shots start ringing through, then some spam can come on in. Nicotine is set up for a world of hurt here.
Yep.
And just going to walk it across there. The
judge at all ranges when they're at
It's a shotgun round.
Shotgun round, yeah. Every round is shotgun round, though, if you're slime. Oh, and now TCD are calling their own timeout here. It worked wonders for UCD last half. Can it do the same for TCD?
Yeah, and we got Seb over in the coaching spot here. You know, the sub coming out. Gonna maybe have a few words with the players. Switch up what they're going with. Especially now, this is the last real round they can really fight for. If they lose this out, it's really just going to be so difficult. It's going to be all nails in the coffin. It's going to fall so short right now. So a change needs to happen. Something needs to be built up to break down what UCD are going for. And they have 3 ultimates to do it.
Pretty decent ones as well. UCD so far have been playing fairly spread. They like trying to make as many question marks as they can, with that Viper wall especially. So having the Seekers is nice when you need that info in a desperate situation, or if you want to try retake. Very helpful in like the A retake, for example. Go through U-Haul with us, swing truck. Know if there's going to be 1 player, 2 player in showers. Usually there always is at least 1, but you never know. There could be more.
Not able to get anything here. A little bit of util pop. They were going for some tether, some paint shells combo, trying to take a little bit of damage here, but no one goes to bite at the bit. So no one's going to fall or even take a bit of damage, and the showstopper going to be started. Oh, actually mistimed, but mistiming doesn't matter when you're hitting every single player out of the server. The judge comes through, slimy as ever. And now it's really just a formality. It feels like 2 rifles, but so little else to work with. That flash is well timed, but needs more, needs to fight it out. Piggy John, you can fight for some kills, but you can't fight for your life. It feels like 4 HP. Gonna be dreaming a little bit to try to stay alive.
Yeah, just want to save this one away. UCD this time, they've shown a little weakness that TCD might have on their defense here. They're using all their util pretty early, and I think Daverney used a dog, found somebody deep on a short, and then wanted to use the haunt afterwards as well to try and stop somebody from walking up. And then as soon as it gets quiet and TCD start to doubt themselves, that's when they pull the trigger and send it with the showstopper. So it's a really good plan there from UCD. But now, surely, I mean, it's looking pretty similar to last map. Maybe TCD get like 2 if this goes the same way.
I mean, you got 5 ultimates.
I'll find you.
You got a board full of them. Oh,
I can't believe he gets away with that.
CMD only takes the first chunk of paint shell damage as well. That's going to be all she wrote for that. Oh, Trailblazer's good.
Would have
Gives
been
them a
even
little
better
bit of
if
room
they
to
got
work
the
with.
stun. I'm pretty sure Kinose thought that they got the stun with that dog. It would have been curtains then. But instead, they're dying to the pain shells. How has that one happened? And is that... Yeah, that makes them go towards
Fully smoked.
A question mark? CMD is still here. They do not have the duelist to exec.
No,
I think they're
and they
trying to
might.
draw rotates here to TP is the plan. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's actually going to be perfect here. But they didn't start the rotate too early,
30
so there
seconds
might be a
left.
little bit to work with. But it's probably going to be nothing for them, especially if Elizabeth just sits in hookah, waits it out, and they're creating even more discourse, even more chaos. Neurotef going to be popped. Knight is going to fall. And this time the judging cannot do it. Gonna need so much for everyone. That is not who you were going for, Nicotine, but you'll take the kill nonetheless. 3v2, you know Elizabeth flanking around. Gonna sit around in Hefty, he's gonna fight for more. And you know
Not
it's
again.
just one left. You know it's just that flanking Cypher now to fight for it. So they are gonna take it out. It costs them everything, it feels like. But 12-7 gets in. TCD stay alive. They used 4 out of their 5 ults, though.
A round's a round. That's what they say. A round's
A
a
W
round.
is a W. No matter if it's written in Wingdigs or Times New Roman, it's still a W somewhere.
Wait, what is Piggy John gonna do with the Viper's Pit? I've seen on the couple rounds of Bind that I'm after seeing over the last couple weeks. They love using the Viper's Pit on B long, and it looks like that's what Piggy John isn't going for. He's not even gonna pop it.
Can just be jiggling here. Goes for the deep orb instead, trying to set control in that way. Nicotine then can set forward, take some Roomba control. Not gonna get anything though. It's actually gonna go a little bit wide, and now the pit can go forward.
This is a bait. What a bait. What a bait.
Oh,
Oh, TP, get out, son. Oh, it gets traded.
oh, especially with the control they had, that TP would have been huge. You know, no one is sitting outside showers as you've taken that control. 4 versus 4 is huge here, though. Oh, but they're ready and waiting. Kinose sitting back, waiting in the fire and the flames, but not going to be able to get more than the one. And
Look at
now
Elizabeth here,
A-side's just
still
going to be
sitting in
gonna be
hookah.
free.
Yeah, and Hefty is...
No one is where they should be. This whole
Last player standing.
he's
Everybody
ready for
got their knives
Daphne as
out.
well. This you're meant to use your weapons. I know the knives look cool. I know you spend a lot of money on them, guys, but you need to whip out the firearms. 3 versus 1. Thrash gonna pop forward. Elizabeth on the flank. This is a UCD game. Said and done. It should be. That detain though. Maybe gonna set themselves a little bit sideways here. Might just be a short little hurdle on the way to victory though. Especially if Theory, even on such low HP, even with nothing left in the tank, is going to win out that fight and get themselves 13-7. Both teams get themselves the same scoreline on opposing maps and set themselves in for an equal and opposite tie.
And that's... Well, I mean, even Stevens
Very
the
different
whole
game.
way. Anyway, you wanted to guarantee that they get top 2. I mean, it's this way. One of them going 13... Was it 13-6, 13-7 on Haven?
Both games were 13-7.
Yeah.
So as even as you can keep it basically in what they just did, they solidified that. But in 2 very different games, the Haven and the Bind game are 2 sides of... I don't even know if it's the same coin, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, very different coins. And now... both of them are guaranteed for playoffs. So you're going to see UCD and TCD at it for a chance to make it all the way to Dublin, but they're going to have to go up some fierce competitors, and we will have our bracket out later on in the week to see who these teams are going to be facing. And
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
yeah.
tiebreakers.
Yeah, a
It's
lot
gonna
of
be a lot.
tiebreakers. And then once we get it
Whether
all
you're
sorted,
Group
we
C
can
also
start
has them
doing
now, or
some...
Group A has them, Group D has them. Everyone's gonna have tiebreakers somewhere.
Yeah, it's when you're running the withdrawing, it's a little bit of an inevitability. So once we have it all sorted, we will put the bracket out, and then you can start doing a bit of your predictions. That's going to be pretty fun to do. And see who could be at the final. Will TUD step off their throne once at all? Can it happen?
Yeah,
We'll find
it's
out.
the dread of waiting to see who gets the boyfriends.
Yeah. Not the
That's gonna be-
boyfriends.
Not the boyfriends.
They have too much
guys.
chemistry.
Exactly. But for now, that is going to be us for this week of Ireland Esports Collegiate Winter Series Valorant Edition. Yeah, thanks you to our last few sponsors. Thank you to Dogpatch Labs. We are powered by natives. But from me, from Schmergen, from Heltic, and from Akiza, over in the back end of everything. That is it for our week, and we shall say good night.